What makes Michael Jordan so great? What actually makes him the GOAT? Is it his high-flying acrobats? Is it all of his accomplishments? 6 championships, 6-0 in the finals? The guy is like a unicorn. He's just something we've never seen in the NBA. His brand, what he did on the court, everything about him just screams GOAT. But is that the only reason why everybody still considers Michael Jordan the GOAT? Besides his accomplishments, I think there's one other thing that most people don't talk about. The 48 Laws of Power, law number 16, use absence to increase respect and honor. I think one of the other reasons Michael Jordan is considered the GOAT is because he's mysterious. Just think about it for a minute. How often do you see Michael Jordan outside? How often do you see Michael Jordan doing interviews? How often do you see Michael Jordan on the podcast or in an event or somewhere that common people go? The answer is almost never. Michael Jordan is never seen or heard from most of the time, which adds to his aura. Michael Jordan is not just some superstar celebrity. He's something different. That's why when you see Michael Jordan giving interviews or doing some type of documentary, everybody's gonna tune in because those opportunities are few and far between where he actually comes outside and do something for the rest of the world and shares what actually goes on in his mind and actually gives his own personal accounts about the legend and the things that we heard of that happened in the 90s when he was playing basketball. See, according to the law, when you're not always around, when you're not always outside, people respect you a lot more. And this is true for anybody, not just Michael Jordan or some celebrity. This is true for anybody. When people see you a lot, when people always see you around, they get used to seeing you around. There's no mystery to you. There's nothing that makes people wonder about you, so that makes you not interested. Michael Jordan is probably one of the most interesting people on the planet because he's not always around. He's not always outside. When he does come outside, people pay attention. Shaq is one of the biggest celebrities around. He's one of the greatest players of all time. I think Shaq could have been the greatest player of all time if he would have put the extra work in to do it. If you see Shaquille O'Neal at a restaurant or at a bar or at an event, you're gonna say, oh snap, that's Shaquille O'Neal. You're gonna be hyped. Oh, let me see if I get a picture of him. But Michael Jordan is a whole nother animal. If you see Michael Jordan step in and you wasn't expecting it, it's gonna be the story of everybody. Everybody's gonna be talking about it. Making a bunch of content is Shaq's job, and he's really good at it. And I applaud him. He's one of the most famous celebrities around. But he does not have the same mysteriousness as Michael Jordan and many other players, actresses, celebrities like Michael Jordan does. Do you hear all that noise with Scottie Pippen talking about Michael Jordan? I love Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen was my favorite player growing up, and I wore number 33 in AAU because of him. There's 4 players I loved growing up: Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Penny Hardaway. With all that junk Scottie Pippen is talking, do you think Michael Jordan is going to respond? Never. Michael Jordan plays chess, not checkers. Scottie Pippen has been sending shots for years, and Michael Jordan has never said anything publicly. But next thing you know, Michael Jordan's son is dating Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. Chess, not checkers. This is a lesson for most of you who wonder why you're not really respected and honored in your circle. It's because you always around. There's nothing remarkable about you. You always around. You're just ordinary. I was having a conversation with this about somebody, and they was telling me about how their parents treat them. And I said, it's because you always around. It's hard for your parents to really respect you when you always around. They don't see you really out here being an adult and actually winning over their respect. You're always there. So it don't matter how old you are. You could be 40 years old and they're still gonna treat you like a child. Me, I live 1,500 miles from where I grew up. I live 2,000 miles from my family. Whenever my family talks to me, it's with respect because they see me. They don't see me that often. I'm not around all the time, and I'm out here doing my thing. You see where I live, you see what I drive, you see what I do. They're like, they have respect for me. This is something you can use even in relationships. A lot of men make a mistake when they first meet a woman. They're always texting her. They're always around. When she texts you, you hit her right back. You text her, you reply right back immediately. No, don't do that. You're losing the mysteriousness. Women like a man who's mysterious and a man who's not always available. If you're always available, then you're not doing nothing important. Just try this. If you find someone that you like, stop texting on time. Stop it. Stop always being available. It makes you look desperate. When you're around all the time, you become ordinary. You're not remarkable, and sometimes you can become annoying. A few weeks ago, there was a helicopter right outside of my house. Now I live in a place where helicopters don't just hang around outside. The first time I saw that helicopter, I thought it was cool. I pulled out my camera phone, I filmed it, I told my fiance about it. I think they're fixing the power lines, but they're picking up people and sending people off in this helicopter, and it was a really cool thing. Everybody that lives around me was outside taking pictures of it and everything. Fast forward weeks later, everybody hates that thing. I can't stand that helicopter. That helicopter gets on my nerves. Whenever I hear the propellers starting up, I'm like, oh, the rotors. Whenever I hear the rotors starting up, I'm like, oh, here we go again. The helicopter's outside. It's not remarkable to me anymore. It was at first. When I first saw it, it was remarkable. Then it came every single day and it stopped being remarkable. There's a reason why Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. It's not just his accomplishments on the floor, it's what he does off the floor as well. He's not always around. He's not easily accessible. When you see him, he's like a unicorn. He's like a myth. That adds to his aura. That adds to who he is. MJ. LeBron doesn't have that. And I love LeBron, but he doesn't have that same aura as Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the guy. When he walks into a room, when he walks into an arena, everyone notices. Everybody's usually standing up, giving him a round of applause. Everybody loves him. There's not too many players or people in the world that get that type of attention. You know who else is really good at this? Beyonce. Beyonce doesn't do interviews. And when women see her, they go crazy because the only time you ever get to see her is at her concerts. You don't see her on TV that often. She's mysterious. That adds to her allure. That adds to who she is, her aura. The same thing can be used for the average person. If you're always hanging around, if you're always everywhere, you're always outside, you're going to become ordinary to people. If you hang out at the same places every single day, the same bar, you go to the same bar every single day, nobody there is going to find you remarkable or interesting. You're just the guy who comes to the bar every day. Learn to distance yourself when it's necessary. Only when it's necessary. Don't always do this. But sometimes if you want to gain honor and respect from people, you have to distance yourself in the right moments. Anyway, that's my time. This is No Topics Off Limits. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And peace.